Having recently completed a playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, one of the greatest games ever created, I started thinking about how the philosophies of Star Wars relate to Doctor Who. Both franchises depict heroes and villains that are characterised by strong adherence to typical values of good and evil, and I wanted to see how these two franchises' ideas of good and evil relate to each other. For example, would the Doctor make a good Jedi? When analysing the philosophy of the Jedi, however, it quickly becomes apparent that the answer is no. Jedi are usually passive, passionless and dogmatic, whereas the Doctor is active, dynamic and embraces change. In fact, if the Doctor existed in the Star Wars universe, they would probably look down on the Jedi as well-meaning but ultimately ineffectual traditionalists, much like how the Doctor views the Church of the Papal Mainframe. The philosophies of the Sith, however, piqued my interest. Here is the code of the Sith for those of you who aren't familiar with it. Peace is a lie, there is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken, the Force shall free me. If any of this sounds eerily familiar, it's because these mantras are basically the founding principles of the ideology of Davros. Anyone familiar with the character of Davros, both from the televised Doctor Who episodes in which he has appeared, and also from his various expanded media appearances, will know that the notion of power through strength is his core tenet. And that got me thinking, would Davros make a good Sith? I definitely think so. He has all the personality traits of a good Sith. Megalomania, callous disregard for life, the ability to shoot bolts of lightning from his hand, and many have pointed out in the past that Davros and Emperor Palpatine share a lot of traits, both in terms of looks and personality. Both believe that the strong should dominate the weak, both seek to set up an oppressive empire and purge any and all dissent, and both have an army of identical brainwashed minions that are supposedly unbeatable, highly trained and pinpoint accurate, yet can't seem to ever hit anything whenever the main characters are around. But jokes aside, Davros does portray many of the qualities found in typical Sith. His rant regarding the Khaled rebellion against him sums it up. He says, "They talk of democracy, freedom, fairness. Those are the creeds of cowards. Achievement comes from absolute power, and power through strength." Sounds pretty Sithy to me, and if you think about it, both Davros and the Sith fill the same narrative niche. Both represent the embodiment of totalitarian thinking, and while Davros and Palpatine represent slightly different aspects of fascism, racial purity and dogma versus obsession with order and control, both go about their plans in very similar ways. Palpatine creates the Empire to extend his own power, to bring the countless planets of the galaxy under his thumb, and to ensure his word is law. Davros, on the other hand, creates the Daleks, a race genetically modified to feel nothing but hate, which he sees as an extension of himself, and, while not directly controlling them, enables them to lay waste to the universe and slaughter countless species. Both characters are similarly evil, and though not identical, they both represent the absolute worst traits of humanity. The ironic thing is, if these two ever met, they would almost certainly try to kill each other, both despots seeing the other as a threat to their own power. What do you think? Do you think Davros would make a good Sith? Let me know in the comments below.